Hello people, today is a nice day. Today is one more day close to Friday. How y'all doing today? Got a common question that people may have when they starting up their fish aquarium. We got these things called cycle. You know, sometimes you set up your aquarium and it be just as crystal clear, and it be you wait for a couple days and you buy your fish. This is a beginner's question. You might not even buy your fish in a couple days. You might set your tank up the same day and add your little fish in there the same day, but you got to let your tank cycle, guys. We got two kinds of cycling. We got a cycle when you set up your tank, and like I said, everything is clear. Your water is crystal clear. Look like your fish are flying. And probably about a day later, 2 days later, you done add your fish in there, and your water get cloudy. Get very cloudy. That's because your fish produce ammonia and all this other stuff that people be talking about, nitrates, nitrites, and all that stuff. All this stuff got to be controlled. You know what I mean? And if you don't have the knowledge of controlling it, you'll sometimes, as a beginner, panic. Then you go suck out all your water, siphon out all your water, and you put some more water back in it. There it is, crystal clear again. But here you go, same thing happened again. It gets cloudy. Now, I was dealing with that. I've been dealing with fish tanks and fish in aquariums for over 20-some years. And I've been dealing with that, but my patience was not there. My patience was not there. And it's all about patience, guys, and they got to go. That's why it's called a cycle. They got to go through a cycle. Nitrates got to take care of this. This got to take care of that. This got to take care of that. Some tanks might not even get cloudy. Some tanks, they gonna go through a cycle though, but some tanks might not even get cloudy. But 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go through that little cycle, and your tank gonna get cloudy. But just don't panic. Just let it go through the cycle. Be patient. Your water will clear up. But here's a tip that I use. I got multi-tanks, as y'all should know. I do have a lot of tanks. And like if I'm setting up a new tank, and it doesn't have any beneficial bacteria in it at all. Well, 9 times out of 10, what I would do, I would take a filter off of one of my already established aquariums. Now, I had a problem with that tank for a long time, but I finally got it right. But I'll take a filter off of one of my established aquariums, and I'll just put it on my new tank and let it run. A couple weeks, a month, or whatever it might, I let it run. But that beneficial bacteria is in your filters, and that's everything that you need. All that waste and all that stuff right there is the breakdowns, and is what you need to establish your aquarium. Sometimes you could get like most of my aquariums on my filters are running sponges or either cotton or polyfill. And what I would do, I would just get that polyfill or that sponge, and that's my little girl just try to scare me. Say, hey, everybody. And what I would do, I would get my polyfill, and I would squeeze it into a bowl and just dump it into either the filters or dump it into the aquarium. It sounds like it's nasty. You do that, it look like chocolate milk. instead of going through all that, I'll just go ahead and put my old filter on my new aquarium and let it do its thing. These aquariums, I have to ask my girlfriend because I'm legally blind, but I can still see what I'm doing. I got the feel for this stuff. But I had to ask her on a 1 to 10 what you think these aquariums are, and each aquarium on a 1 to 10. All of them are 10s now. But I also got an API test kit, to test my parameters, my water parameter. That's a good thing to do too. Just because your water crystal clear, that don't mean everything is going right. You just have clear water. But you know what? Majority of the time, when we get that clear water, we stop testing our parameters. You know what I'm saying? That will lead to a mini cycle. That will lead to a mini cycle because you're not doing what you did to establish your aquarium the first time. You got to keep that going. You got to maintenance your aquarium. I ask people, because I sell fish tanks, and I'll be like, yo, you want to buy a fish tank? Boom, boom, boom. I had one, and I added some fish in there, and they all died. It's because, one, you got to let the tank go through the cycle. Or you have to, just add your filter onto the back and let it, within a day, I say I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth. Some people say 3-4 days a week or whatever when you add an old filter onto your aquarium. But what happened if your tank is not cycled, your fish gills, they will have gill burns, you know what I mean? And that will cause them to die. They be up at the top of the water, trying to get air, oxygen, the water's not oxygenated enough, or whatever you might call it. But if you put your filter on the back and wait a couple of days or wait a day or two, the longer you wait, the better it is. But mine's go in like a day. I have no deaths. Not in these are new tanks. This tank I don't think it's been running for a month yet. But that tank over there, that tank haven't even been running 2 weeks. Just got that one. And I have no deaths in that tank. I have no deaths in this tank. It's all because of what I went through with this tank. And this right here is my peacock cichlid aquarium. I don't think I just got 2 aquariums, for all you fish lovers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all can see the fish, peacocks. These are African cichlids, sorted, electric blue Eli's, yellow labs and things like that. Anyway, the clarity, it look better in person. But this tank right here, I had a lot of fish in this tank, and I had a lot of fish that died in this tank. A lot of fish. And what was going on was I wasn't patient enough to let my tank cycle. So I would set it up. I set it up. This tank been running, I think 2 years, something like that. And I set it up, but for the whole 2 years, I do a 25% water change. I do a 50% water change, and I put the water back in there. But see, what I was doing was causing so much death. I don't have any deaths no more, y'all. I haven't had a death since. I'm gonna give it a week now. I'm gonna give it a week because I tried a new approach. It really is an old approach to more advanced fish keepers. But what I did was, just like if I take water out, I put my prime in, put it in while I'm adding the water. It provides a slime coat, for the fish. I put my beneficial bacteria in, stress zymes, yes, API, and it done wonders, man. It boosts my cycle. Then I took filter off my already established aquarium. I had cloudy aquarium water in this tank for a minute, but see, it wasn't because of the cycling. It was because of my intake on my hang on the back filters was all the way to the sand. Not all the way to the sand. It was close enough to suck the sand up into the filters and stuff, and that's what you hear on my hang on the back. One of my hang on the back aquariums. I'm about to either just take it off, get another one, or just take it off and then leave it alone. Because I looked on Amazon. I tried to find a propeller for it because mine are rocked out due to the sand. But if I unplug it, it's quiet. That's a quiet tank. But back to the situation at hand. Yeah, I started adding my API stresszymes. That's beneficial bacterial. And with the I pulled up the intake valves, and my tank is no longer sucking up sand. Oh man, I went to clean out my filters, and it was so much sand in there, it was ridiculous. So I cleaned them out one by one. I got 3 filters. I got 2 hang on the back filters and 1 FX5 filter. So, oh, excuse me. All right, anyway. So what I did was I boosted up, speeded up the cycle. I didn't do a water change yet. I didn't do a water. I'm trying to go 2 weeks without doing a water change. See what they get me. But next Monday I'm gonna do what? Actually, yeah, this Monday coming up, I'm gonna do a water change. This is a 25% water change in all the aquariums. Put my prime back in all the aquariums. Plant safe too, y'all. Just in case y'all didn't know that. But yes, I lost a lot of fish in this aquarium due to being impatient. Wrong. You got to know, first you have to know why your water is cloudy. It could be different reasons. Just like I said, this one on this tank, the parameter was good, but the sand, it was like, man, this water is cloudy. I know it's cloudy. I can't never get that 10. It was like a 7.5 or 8, sometimes maybe a 9. So I was like, oh man, something ain't right. So I was looking, and I messed around and changed my filter cartridge. Now it was all kind of sand in there. So I just took it upon myself and raised a couple days. Well, it was the same day. I raised the intake valve way up, and this one on this end is further up. It fell in the water somewhere, but it's further up. You can't see it anyway because all those beautiful fish. Oh my God! But you got to know what's causing your cloudy water, and sometimes it's time and patience you got to have. Sometimes you might have a bacterial bloom, which is easy to maintain, which is easy to clear up. Sometimes it clear up by itself. My mom set up her tank. She called me, Wayne, why is my water so cloudy? Boom, boom, boom. I said, well, you probably going through a cycle, and don't worry about it, don't panic, just leave it alone. Let it do what it do. Her water cleared up in one day. She called me the next day. She was like, oh my God, it's so crystal clear, blah, 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 blah. But you just got to have patience with it. Sometimes it takes longer than that. Sometimes it takes weeks. Sometimes it takes months. But you got to know why your water is cloudy. Like I said, it could be you sucking up sand in your aquarium, or you're going through a mini cycle, or what they call it, when you anyway, when you first set up your tank, you're going through that little cycle right there. A little mini bacterial bloom. But you just got to know what it is. Sometimes you have like cloudy, milky water. Sometimes you might have greenish water. That's a different problem right there. That's an algae took over your water column. If you have a greenish tint to your water, we'll fix that right there. And a lot of other problems is get you. First of all, do not put your fish tank directly into a wind tube. having direct sunlight hitting your tank. It'd be all right if you had something to control it. Like me, I have a UV sterilizer in there, so I put mine next to the window, and what it do is algae will grow on your rocks, given the right kind of nutrients in your water. It will grow on your rock. That's a good thing. That's telling that your tank is well established and it can produce algae. But when it takes over your water column, you got green water. Sometimes people have the water be so green, it be like that, that fake plants. These are flake plants. It be like that. But you can get your UV sterilizer, drain about 50% of that water out, fill it back up, and whatever flows through the UV sterilizer, it will get sterilized. It will kill off that algae. The algae cannot produce no more. It won't grow in your water no more. But yeah, you have to know what's causing your water to be cloudy. But when you're cycling your tank, the best thing to do is either have you 2 tanks, know your friend that got a tank, you know what I mean? Or if you upgrading your tank, do not clean out your filter. Take that same filter, that same nasty water in that filter and put it onto the new tank and let it do what it do. I promise y'all, your tank will be established. Your tank, it'll go through a cycle very, 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 very quick. I give about 2 weeks. You'll be fully cycled in 2 weeks. But the only way to test it is get your API test kit and test your water parameters like weekly while you're setting up your new tank, and monthly after your tank done got established. I suggest monthly after your tank got established, test your water parameters, make sure everything is still good. Sometimes when you change your water, people don't do nothing but change water. I don't understand how in the world they could, I guess they got hardy fish like goldfish and stuff like that. They'll take their fish out the water, siphon out all the water, got it laid up the street, siphon out all the water, put all the water back in, put goldfish back in, and everything is everything. The water ain't even settled yet. It still be bubbles on the glass, you know what I mean? But some people could get away with that. But when you mess with fish that cost money, you got some goldfish that cost money. Well, they call them there's some Chinese carp fish. What they call? I don't know. The koi fish. They got those that cost money. But anyway, you got hardy fish and you got not so hardy fish. Sometimes you could get away with stuff like that, but you got to know your fish. You got to know your fish. But it's not good to do that because goldfish could catch gill burns too. Goldfish are real nasty fish, so they produce a lot of ammonia. That's the thing. That's the thing about it. So you got to let your tank get established in order to break down the ammonia in the water and turn it into something else and turn it into something else and turn it into something else. Y'all can YouTube it and listen to somebody else that really could put it into depth. But this is what I do. New tank, old filters. New tank, old filters. Don't rinse them out. Just throw the old filter on there and let it run. You can take your new filter, like if you have a already established aquarium, now you can take, and vice versa. You can take your new filter and put it onto your old tank, and that new filter will get established as well. New filter, old tank. Old filter, new tank. Now check this out. Here's another one. Now say this tank right here came with a filter. It did. So what I did was I hooked that filter up, I got this back there, and I hooked up my flue valve. My flue valve was already running, was already running on it on my 60 gallon. I'm sorry, I tore that down, but it been running on a 60 gallon. So what I did was I put it on this tank and got this tank established, as well as that filter that came with this tank. Look how clear this water is. This water is so beautiful, y'all. This is a pretty tank. But the rest of them they are pretty too. Y'all should see this one right here. Everybody like that one in the corner. I just got the tank. Somebody, my boy up the street, he want to buy it. But anyway, like I said, new tank, old filters. Old tank, new filters. You see what I'm saying? It will speed up the bacteria. You know, your bacteria will get established. It'll speed up your cycle quickly. Sometimes people have to wait months in order for their cycle to get it. In order for to go through their cycle. You know, but like I said, once again, you got to understand your tank, cause every tank is different. So you got to understand what's going on in each tank to establish clear water, healthy environment for your fish to thrive in. You know, I went through it. Everybody gonna go through it. But if you like the fish hobby, then that's some things that you're gonna go through. You got to learn from your mistake. I spent a lot of money going through the hobby, you know, on buying fish after fish after fish after fish, because they kept on dying in that tank right there because of my patience. I don't have patience, but I don't have any money either to keep on buying fish. So I had to weigh one, patience or money. I'd rather say patience. I deal with the patience. I just waited. So 2 weeks, no death in that tank. No death. I tore that tank completely down. Washed the sand and everything. No deaths. Yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you. You know, it's been a long video, but you know, this is just for people who want to know how to go through their cycle, how to cycle their aquarium, or why they fish are dying, or you know, I don't want no more fish because all of them died, and you know, why is my water cloudy? You know, I hope I answered all those questions for you. Y'all have a good morning on this Thursday. I would say my old saying was keep tanking and keep drinking, but unfortunately, I think I'm trying to stop. I think I'm trying to stop drinking. So, I'm gonna say keep tanking and keep thanking. Peace out.